is Dragoš Stanchu, and I'm very honored to be starting this webinar. Okay, again, hello. I'm very glad to be starting this webinar. Put a plus, please, if you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you very much. I can see that you do hear me loud and clear. Okay, great. Now, we can start. So, as I've already mentioned, it is my great honor to be opening this reporting webinar. It's a very important day for all of us. And we are going to receive quite important news today, the way it usually happens with all major companies. We are going to share our forecasts and for the future in order to be able to share our emotions with you and to receive the most important news from our general director, our CEO, Andrey Khovratov. So let us begin our summary meeting with Andrey Khovratov and the representatives of the Presidential Council. Today is the 29th of February, 2020. And for those of you who do not know me, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Stanchu Dragoš. I'm a representative of the Presidential Council, a president under the partnership program of the consumer community NEEW, leader of the consumer community NEEW in Italy. I'm a certified coach of Master Profi and a host of Genius of Finance. I'm member of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, and a professional investor. Now let's talk about the agenda of today's webinar. We're going to have a report on the company's activities. In February, we're going to talk about our promotions, about the interactive masterclass MLCI Marathon 260 and the opportunity to join it. Our marathon had a very, very successful beginning, and you still have time to join that marathon. It is our interactive training course, very much practice-oriented compared to all other educational opportunities our company has to offer. Then we're going to have a comments on the new format of cooperation with the Skyway group of companies news, and we will have a Q&A section as well. Then we're going to talk about the events to be held in February. February was a month, like a staple month of cooperation and interaction, especially in the area of education, thanks to our marathon. And I have received quite a lot of your feedbacks, and most of the people who participate in the marathon sessions received quite a powerful incentive or motivation towards their personal development and the development of their structures, because we provided excellent opportunities to people. And now we're going to give you one more chance for people to be able to participate in this really important path that we've undertaken together, and that which will give us the opportunity to receive all the information and all the practical data on our work with people and we're going to provide you with tools necessary to extend or to better expand your structure. The MLCI 260 marathon is indeed a very important event which allows us to work together with different leaders, and they share their experience they have accumulated in different business areas, and it also allows us to grow both as personalities, as leaders, and helps us manage our time. Although we're going to meet quite a lot of new people that we will have and gladly help during our marathon, this interactive course, high-level course at that, helps us understand what our company is doing and what efforts it is taking at the moment. And if you go back and see all the steps taken by the company in the past and being taken at present, you'll see that we have a lot of developments in the pipeline, and it will help us prepare for those developments, for those news, both theoretically and practically. We have quite a big structure at the moment, and now we need to understand, now we need all our members to understand what the company's mission and objectives are, so that we can convey those missions and objectives to our partners and make them understand the opportunities the company has to offer. And also, it helps us understand how to manage our money properly. Therefore, we need our partners to be fully clear about all the aspects of time and money management, because that's the key to being a really powerful and major player on the international arena. And that's our goal, to raise the bar higher and higher, so that we are able eventually to take charge of the biggest projects out there and to interact with as many people as possible. And thanks to your participation in our global investment portfolio, we are among the first to be. We are on the front line, and if we have the necessary level of preparation, of training, our structure will be very powerful enough to can keep up investing in all the sectors, in all these segments of our global investment portfolio. That is why it is of paramount importance to always keep raising the bar and always aim higher, because it is one of the ways of helping other people join in and helping other people grow higher, bigger, and better off. And our marathon runners, most of them do make their homework, which in turn helps strengthen our structure, which in turn supports the implementation of our biggest project, which is the new economic evolution of the world. It is a world-class and world significant project, and I am personally involved and interested, and I would like you to be as such as well, interested in implementing, in understanding the importance of this current event. And this is a great opportunity offered by our company to you. And all of us should do our best to share that opportunity with all the rest of the people so that they too will receive the necessary knowledge and the necessary preparation to be able to face the market and face the global market, because we are already there. And all our partners simply must have all those tools in order for our business to get bigger and bigger. And now, thanks to the February's events, we do have knowledge, and now we are equipped with all the tools to keep pace with all the rest of the leaders who also partake in the MLCI Marathon 260. And if we go and take a look at what our company has already achieved, we'll see that we are now 1,274,000 people, which means that our structure has grown to an incredible scale. And if you just think about those numbers, when we build our powerful global structure, we will understand the huge potential that we have on our hands, because 1,274,549 people who are informed, who are ready, who are educated, who are 100% ready to implement the vision of our company and the ideology of our flagman project with the new economic evolution of the world. This is a world scale, this is a world class and the world scale project that none other companies ever dared to implement. And we have constant duplication in our structure, and our goal is to achieve 10 million people in our structure. And I would like to share the experience that I had when I took my first Master Profi courses with Andrey Khovratov, and he was talking about really big numbers, and I was just a newbie. I've just joined the whole multi-level crowd investing thing, and I had a couple of hundred of people, I think, in my entire structure. And I was listening to Andrey, and he was saying, well, our immediate goal is to have 1 million partners. And I thought, no way, we're never gonna have that many participants in our project. Because I couldn't even imagine that many people. I never thought that big. I wasn't physically capable of imagining that figure. And now when we talk with Andrey, and when Andrey says 10 million people, I have full confidence that it's quite achievable, because I'm now at that level when I have in my structure hundreds of thousands of people. So I've realized that everything is possible, or impossible is nothing. And I understood that the reality as envisioned by Andrey is possible. And now I can say in full confidence, yes, we can. We can implement all those ideas. We can achieve all those numbers. That is why it is so important to take on that path together, to participate in Marathon 260, to build our team together, because our well-trained partners is the biggest asset of our company. Yesterday, during the marathon session, I tried to motivate all our partners towards the participation in our reporting summary webinar to be held by Andrey, because it is today that we're going to get very important news about our company. It is also part of our training, part of our education, because this new information allows us to give new incentives for our people, the people in our structure. So people can get their hands on a lot of new projects. They know where to move in future. And they now know how to build their business in a better way, how to build their relations with business partners, with other people in a better way. Now, that figure that you see on your screens, 1.2, 1.3 million people, is just a first step. And there are many more steps yet to be taken. But if we're not proactive, if we do not attend all our company's project events, like webinars, like this webinar, how can we ever be able to manage this huge number of partners when that number grows to tenfold, I don't know, 20-fold? So we need to be able to manage, to make use of the tools available to us. We need to be able to interact with people. We need to be able to communicate with people and to provide the support that they need from us, in order for them to be able to understand the duplication principle. And thanks to our education, thanks to the company's news, including those to be provided by Andrey today, I'm pretty confident that we have all the necessary training in place to be able to share the new ideology, new philosophy, new economic evolution of the world philosophy with as many people as possible, and to change the lives of our partners, and not only our partners, but beyond our community as well. Now, we have achieved fantastic heights, and now we have many new offices being opened in different countries across the globe. As you can see on your screen, you can see that one of the latest offices opened were one in Latvia, Riga, the city of Riga, and the second one in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai. And what does it testify to? It tells us that our company, in addition to growing in numbers, also is growing, or let's say extending the technical capacities of our structure. We have people who are readily take the commitment, they go to a higher level and become, let's say, managers at the regional level. They are now in a position to take important decisions, such as opening new offices, the purpose of which to support all our people, both in the country of the office and the neighboring countries. And it allows us to now run those support centers, let's call them like that, where we can conduct our information training events of the company. And all those people who want to share or to increase their level of training, who would like to have a very good career growth, they will go to our offices, or they can find the courage and open an office of their own in their own country. So I'm very glad that I'm in the midst of it all, and I can see what's going on. I can see this insane expansion of our company because I do feel like a co-owner, the real, true co-owner of our company, not just in words. And I realized that part of this global investment portfolio is in my ownership, which motivates me big time, which increases my interest in the project more and more. And that's why I would like to share that wonderful experience with everyone. And thanks to, and in view of the everything that I said before, I would like to tell you that our global investment portfolio is also now has reached a new level, and now we can talk about the loyalty bonuses for January, which have already been accrued or credited to your accounts. All the participants of the CryptoUnit program closed club received their loyalty program bonuses for January. The bonus crediting or accrual coefficient per every unit crew point was 0.0000088, 31, 53, 51, 5 for the first part. And what do I mean by the first part? We're talking about the first part before the launch of the program, and 0.00376 502 189 0376 under the second part of the CryptoUnit program. Now you can do the math, depending on how many crew points you have. And when I learned about how this global portfolio co-ownership program works, I realized that on the international level, I realized that I have now my opportunity to be able to be a co-owner in a really global investment portfolio is the most important thing ever happened in my life. And then I start thinking maybe there are other similar opportunities out there in the world, and I started looking for them. And you know what I found? Yes, I did find that there were similar investment portfolios, but we are the only one ever. And what's unique about what's our big difference compared to all other companies, that we enabled people to become co-owners of this joint global investment portfolio. We gave this opportunity not only to the residents or citizens of just one country or only to a bunch of really rich people. No, we gave that opportunity to anyone who would like to join in, to every single human being on this planet. And usually other global investment portfolios require people to have quite a lot of money, which is not always possible for people. And if you take a look at our company, you can see that the, let's say, call it entrance fee, is not that big. In addition to that, you are investing not only in the portfolio, but in your personal growth, in your personal development, which adds value to yourself in the market. I'm not only improving my education, my, let's say, literacy, but now I have an additional, how to put it, wealth, or better asset that never is going to take away from me. I'm talking about knowledge. And to top it all, I also own or partly own the global investment portfolio. And I want everyone to understand that, to understand the significance of our project, because all those tools that the company offers us they are very important, but maybe not all people are able to understand what it's all about. And it is very important to explain to people what exactly our company gives them, what kind of tools are now in your hands. And everyone should understand what are the growth opportunity our company has to offer. And one of the biggest mechanisms of growth mechanisms of our company is the growth of our structure. I'll explain. The bigger our structure grows, the more invincible, the more strong, the stronger our company becomes. And the bigger our investment portfolio is, the more investment opportunities we have, the more market segments we can invest in, which in turn increases the significance of our company on the global arena, which in turn increases the bonuses that we receive, which get bigger and bigger with the growth of our structure, with the growth of our investment portfolio. And similarly, will our personal satisfaction grow? The satisfaction with what's happening, our satisfaction with the educational projects, our satisfaction with the information that we're receiving, and the economic, let's say, component of our project. Thanks to those 8 rules of a private investor that we have mentioned so many times and talked about during the last sessions of our marathon, we can now understand how we can create our own reality and how we can create, how we can grow both as personalities and as financial beings. And the efficiency of this vision of the mission of the new economic evolution of the world will depend on how our global investment portfolio is going to develop. And now I would like to give the floor to one of our best motivational leaders, Andrew Hawks, who is also a representative of the Presidential Council, the new Consumer Community Partnership Program President, a certified Master Profi coach, the Genius of Finance host, member of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. He is a wonderful private investor, an entrepreneur, a sales and marketing specialist, and also an international speaker.
Thank you, my friend.
I met Andrew in our company, and I have deepest respect for him, for his level of preparation, literacy, and education, and for his constant willingness to help and his desire to learn new things and to share the things he learned with his structure, so that his structure can make use of his knowledge and experience. And I'm passing the floor over to Andrew, and I'm thanking you for attending and for giving your attention. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dragos. I appreciate that. Hopefully we've got some slides coming up here in a minute for what we're going to continue on with. We should have them, so I'm not sure what's going on. I was told I wasn't supposed to share them, that someone else would. So I'm sure they'll turn up in a second, unless somebody tells me otherwise. So unless I get something from Yulia. Guys, can you see or hear me okay? Just give me a plus in the chat if you can see and hear me. Great. Awesome. Awesome. So Dragos, thank you very much for that great introduction. I don't need to bother to introduce myself anymore. So guys, it doesn't look like this. I'm gonna just make a command decision here and share these slides so you can see them. Okay, so just bear with me for a second while I flash these up. Cool. Right, now give me a plus in the chat if you can see that screen all right. Great, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, I'm gonna rip through this, guys. I'll get through this as quick as I possibly can. My section this evening, first of all, welcome. Man, we've got massive numbers here. Just in the English room alone, we've got almost 1,000 people. So well done, guys. This is awesome to see. And it's just a testament of the momentum we're really starting to get now. So guys, this is even better. I'm here to talk a little bit about the promotions. I'm going to apologize to the translators now because we're pushing for time. So I am speaking a little faster than I would have liked. So guys, let's have a look at these offers promotions and get through them real quick. So we've got exciting news. We have been listening to you. A lot of people have gone, oh, I really hope that they extend the 150 crew. Well, guess what? We've heard what you've been saying, and it has been extended until the end of the 31st of March. I'm sure you're all pretty happy about that. Guys, this is a chance for you guys to really use this to build your teams. But here's the thing. Remember, you need to convert these people as well. It's not just a matter of getting them in for free. You want to look at how you can allow them to become members and become partners with us. Now, I did do a training that's available in the Asia Pacific group. There's a video in there. If you go and have a look at the videos, you'll find it there that will show you how you can start to market to those people. And also, so you get them enrolled first, then you'll download your list, and then it shows you how to upload that. And there's also about 5 pre-written emails that you can edit and send out as well to help you convert those people into paying customers as well, which is obviously the name of the game. Now, the next one, ladies and gentlemen, we are extending the 10% discount on cryptocurrency top-ups as well. That now is until the 15th of March. Okay, so you've got another 15 or so days to take advantage of that. Essentially, you put the full amount, you get a 10% discount on what you receive into your back office. So that's a really, really amazing promotion as well, guys. Take advantage of that. Obviously, the company's trying to help you to become literate with cryptocurrency. So this is a really good way to learn it. If you're not too hot on it, but you know someone that is, sit down with them. Maybe they're not in your vicinity, then jump on a Zoom with them and go through a screen sharing process so you can find out how, okay? I'm happy to do that in one of our mentoring sessions if people want to know that as well. So just ask next time, not a problem at all. So what else? Right, Marathon 260 is going off right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are just coming to the end of week 4. We're about to go into week 5. And you know what? I'll be honest. I'll be really, really honest. I am so excited to see the amount of sticking we've had, but that's not even the right word, stickability. The amount of people that are sticking to this and really seeing it through and taking on the challenge. And I say this every week, and I mean what I say. I congratulate you all for taking such positive action towards your own futures and success, because it relies on you. It doesn't rely on anyone else. It's only you that can do it. We can give you the tools, we can give you the strategies, but you have to be the one to put it into practice, and you are all doing that. So give yourself a massive round of applause and a pat on the back, because you are doing a great job. Now, we've had over 3,000 participants in the marathon so far from over 75 countries. And guys, honestly, it's so cool to see. Keep plugging in, keep getting into your mentor sessions, keep doing your homework, because it all builds. Now, I'll give you something that happened to me once upon a time, a few years ago, and I'll try and keep it short. I've been through this training so many times, and I used to be on the other side of the fence going, oh, I'm doing this, but it's not doing anything. It's not working. It's not working. That was me. That was my language I was using with myself, and that's probably why it wasn't. And it wasn't until I stopped that language and shifted it to go, how can I make it work for me, that everything started to shift. So there's a real powerful message in that. Repetition helps. So if you've done this before, great, keep doing it. Do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Even after marathon's finished, do it again, because that is how you build that muscle. That is how you get mastery, and that's what you're going to need to succeed. So guys, again, take my hat off to you. You're doing an amazing job. Oh, went too far. Got a little bit clicky on the mouse. Hey, and here's the other bit. If you've got people that you'd love to join you on the Marathon 260, that's now been extended until the end of March as well. So they can still get involved. There was a lot of deliberation around this. This is a lot of work for the admin guys, for everyone behind the scenes. There's a lot of work goes into this. So there was a lot of consideration put into this decision to extend it. So if you guys have got teams that you want to join you on this Marathon 260, then get them involved, because this is their chance to shine as well. When we all grow together, oh wow, you know, amazing things happen. And Dragos spoke about that. Look at the growth we've already had, and look at the things we're starting to achieve. I, for one, am incredibly excited about what is happening. So what do we got? What do we got coming up? Let's have a look at our upcoming events. Obviously, guys, if you dive into your back office in the webinars and events section, that's under the news, okay? Click on news, then on the left-hand side in the column there in the menu, then you can find webinars and events. Go and click on that, and you'll be able to see what webinars and live events are on in your areas. Now, webinars, guys, simple. There are multiple different languages being held. So go on there, pick the one that suits you, and go to it. Remember, the webinars are free. Invite yourself, invite your friends, invite your family, invite your relatives, invite everyone. Invite the postie from down the street. Get them on that call, because it could very well change their lives, and it will definitely change yours. The more you can plug in yourself, the more you understand what it is that we have, and the easier it is for you to explain that to other people. Okay, so that's also for the live events, guys. There's a timetable in the back office in the same place where you can find what live events are on in your regions also. The events in March, obviously the timetable just says will be available soon in your back office there. So keep note of that. I'd be, you could possibly even set up an RSS feed, which is a real simple syndication, right? You might even be able to set one of those up to get those alerts to your inbox as and when they get updated. So make sure that you are aware of exactly where and how that works in your back office, and keep up to date with what is happening around the traps. Next one, guys, the main event of the year, Eventi in Moscow. Wow, it doesn't seem that long ago that we were at Eventi in India, and now we're talking about Eventi in Moscow. And I can tell you, I am very much looking forward to going back to Moscow. I was in Moscow last year in about August, and it was just beautiful. And I can't wait to go back. We're going to try and journey further afield and head up to St. Petersburg this time as well. But just a beautiful place, beautiful people. And guys, 17th and the 18th of October, there's going to be an international genius of finance. So if you consider yourself a little bit of a genius of finance guru, then you want to make sure that you are at that tournament. Now, we're going to be running courses, classes, games. We're going to be running mini tournaments here as well. And I'm sure many other leaders will do so in their own regions, but we're doing it here. In fact, the hub at Logan are already running we'll definitely be running tournaments to get you ready for that one. Of course, Eventi, the 19th and 20th of October. And then the 21st, Eventi's the big one, guys. That's going to be the big party. And then, of course, the 21st is the World Forum. So they're not on sale yet, but ticket sales will start in April. They are going to be 1,000 units for consultants and above. So, ladies and gentlemen, you must be a consultant or above to attend or to be able to purchase an Eventi ticket. But of course, there is a slight variant to that. And of course, we're going to get to that right now. If you are participating in the Marathon 260, you will be aware that when you make the $500 or the $800, whatever it was for you, it was included that said that there was an Eventi ticket included. And it is, so long as you become a participant of the MLCI 260, the Marathon 260, which as a lot of you are, which is great. And you visit over 55% of the lessons, okay? Now, whether that's live or the recorded versions, you've got to attend those, and you've got to put in 55% of your homework. If not, you'll have to buy the ticket for $1,000. Now, I do understand, I've been told that there were people that bought tickets based upon the fact that bought the MLCI Marathon 260 that they thought they'd get a ticket gratis, and you will, so long as you attend and do the Marathon 260. That's a really, really important part, guys. If you don't do that, then you have to buy a ticket outright, which was the price that was given on the other page. Right, so now I had to rattle through that really quickly, and I've got there. I managed to be on time. So now that's my part of the evening done. I can go and I can have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to sit here with my notebook glued to the laptop, listening to this next gentleman. Now, you all know who we're talking about, or who I'm talking about. Well, I hope you do. He's the CEO and founder of our amazing company. He is the absolute visionary person that has put all of this MLCI concept together. That really is going to bring prosperity to so many people. And I'll be honest, when I first got started with this company, I had no intention of building a business, but I fell in love with this vision of bringing prosperity and abundance to so many people. And I know so many of you have that bug as well. So many of you are with this company for that very, very reason. And look, guys, there'll be some that aren't, there'll be some that go, that's okay. As long as you hold the vision, that is where your success will be, and holding a vision that you can continue to work towards. So without any further delay, I really want to welcome out to the stage, please, Mr. Andrey Khovratov, our CEO and founder. Of course, he is the author of the Academy of Private Investor, the master of dream realization. He is, of course, the chairman of the World Generals for Peace. Just look at all these things, included in the top 100 outstanding leaders of Russia. That's for the people of the millennium. He was included in that book that was just published, guys. It's amazing. And of course, was voted one of the coaches of the year in personal development and personal finance by Melon Rich magazine. So without any further delay, Andrey Khovratov, please, how are you this evening? Hopefully he's ready. You know, I'm sure he is. Oh no, you serious?
He's here.
There it
Yeah,
is. No,
he's
I thought I'd lost internet for a second here. Sorry, Dennis.
trying to set up the microphone, I guess.
Oh, it was too quick. Oh, sorry. I thought I'd lost internet. That's why I said, "Oh no."
Yeah, we did lost you for a second there, but then it went back online. Okay, so he's trying to set up his microphone, and okay, you can see me on the picture here. I still had long hair, longish hair. I tried to use my phone to connect to this conference. Maybe it was a mistake because we really can barely hear him. Here's his picture. You see on the left. So the connection is really bad. So we're trying to figure out how to improve it. So I'm trying to figure out how to improve the sound quality. It's still kind of cracking. I guess you guys can hear me loud and clear, but we're talking about the original here, the Andrey's voice. How about like this? There is still some background noise, and it's very... Okay, just give a second, okay? It's a good time, good opportunity for interpreters to take a break after Andrew's really fast presentation. Still working on the sound. Water break. I'm drinking tea at the moment. Or did you mean something else? Yeah, still trying to set up the sound because the Andrey's voice is like cracking. It's like speaking from a tunnel. Maybe we'll replace the headset, the microphone, and it will help. Have vodka. No, I'm like the pro healthy lifestyle. Wine, maybe, not vodka. So now we seem to have better sound quality using the inbuilt microphone, but still there is some package drops. But I think putting ice in vodka or any other alcohol is watering it down, right? So, because ice eventually melts and dilutes your poison. Okay, I have a joke for you then. What do you get if you cross a hedgehog and a snake? 2 meters of barbed wire. Okay, I'm still setting up the sound. I guess we'll never use Mirapolis ever again because it really lets us down all the time. We had a very good experience with Zoom, and Mirapolis, for some reason, simply don't like us, doesn't like us. Yeah, Zoom is the way to go. Yeah, we have Zoom. Actually, Marathon 260 is run on Zoom. But for some reason, we decided to try to give Mirapolis a second chance. Okay, it seems to be better, but still we have some problems. Okay, I'll have one more joke for you. A little bit more complicated. So what's the difference between a bachelor and a toilet? So a bachelor is single, you see, and the toilet is WC. Okay, now we have we have a new speaker while Andrey is setting up his sound. We have Maria Antonenko. And I live in Moscow at the moment. I'm a vice president under the partnership program. I've dedicated 20 years to being a financial expert, and I have experience in cryptocurrencies. And at the moment, I'm in charge of the implementation of blockchain technologies in our company. I guess many of you know that we have placed our token crew on Ethereum blockchain on the 15th of January. And our objective was to synchronize all our users' back offices with the Ethereum blockchain. And 263,500 transactions have been effected since then. And it is quite slow, by the way. So we realized that we will not be able to migrate all our tokens through blockchain. This is not the way to go, because we wanted to synchronize our back offices once a week. That's why we came to the realization that we need to have our own blockchain. We had various proposals from lots of IT or crypto enthusiasts, like, why don't you use Waves blockchain? Yes, Tezos blockchain, like lots of high-speed blockchains. And yes, indeed, we need to issue tokens on third parties' blockchains. It seems like, but what would happen? We have more than 1 million users. Imagine if one transaction costs like $1, for example, then million of dollars every day or per week will be given away to someone else's blockchains just to pay the commission for the transaction of our tokens. We will have to pay Waves and other coins. And of course, those coins' price would soar, skyrocket, because all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, there would be a lot of movement, a lot of transactions in their coins. And we would simply help stimulate someone else's token, someone else's coin. We don't want that, because what we have is our partners, our partnership network across the entire world. And this is a big force, driving force, which will help our token price soar very high up. That's why we announced call for tenders, and we received more than 10 bids to the email address that we indicated in our tender documentation. We have applicants from the United States, Australia, the Czech Republic, Russia, Belarus. The international teams, for many people who are not crypto industry experts, the names of the teams might not say really anything, but if you go and Google such a monster as Bitfury, it's a company, one of the biggest producers of mining equipment, and such a monster as Bitfury submitted an application for our tender. On the 3rd of March, we're gonna interview 6 teams who sent the entire documentation, the entire package of documents. They will be allowed to participate in the tender. What did we ask them to do? The registration data, where they are registered, the entire composition of their IT team, and their previous projects. Because some people who submitted their application said, yes, we have a blockchain development team, but they did not give their name, They did not give the legal registration, and they did not provide links to the previous projects who were their clients, who would, it's like a reference, who would confirm the expertise of that team. So what were our requirements? It's the proof of stake consensus protocol. It's easier staking, not even a mining. It's so that our blockchain could ensure high transaction speeds, and 3 types of nodes. Nodes are validating nodes, which will confirm our transactions. We're developing software for all the users to be able to either buy a node for home-based staking, like a box version, and then install the software on their computer. We're gonna have 3 types of tokens: CryptoUnit security token, stablecoin token, which will be equal to $1. So 1 token equals $1. And we're gonna have a token, a utility token, which is a derivative of our blockchain. So at the moment, we're not given the names of those tokens so that all those fraudsters would not copy us. You already saw, I guess, the news that fraudsters are not sleeping. They were trying to sell CryptoUnit on Ethereum. So we're not going to disclose the name of the tokens until the very last moment when we actually enter the exchange and until we publish our white paper. We're going to have our own decentralized exchange developed by those specialists that will win the contract. And what are the time frames here? Testnet, when we do everything in test, is going to take us 3 months. And the main network, which is mainnet, is going to be launched within 6 months until the 31st of August. And of course, everyone's asking about the lockup. Well, I hope that Andrey Khovratov would tell us about the lockup himself, because it is his news. But unfortunately, you see, the sound was very bad. So I'm going to show you the slides, and then Andrey Khovratov will take your questions. So lockup opening or unlocking, releasing of a certain number of tokens for those people who bought educational packages from us and received tokens as gifts at stage 1. On the 30th of May 2019, so a year has passed, and before the 30th, within the period until the 30th of March, we'll have unlocking, which is 1% per month. So imagine that someone bought an EIP on the 30th of March 2019, a package worth $8,000, and received 8 million crew points. Okay? So 1% is 80,000 points. So all of our partners will have an opportunity to exchange the released unlocked crew points for units. For example, at 10 cents per unit, 80,000 crew points at 10 cents is $8,000. So a person received loyalty program bonuses over 1 year, received Profi bonuses throughout this entire period, and even exchanging just 1% of the released tokens will be able to get the entire cost of the original EIP, the original cost of the EIP. So those who bought the EIPs later, like in June, their unlocking will happen on the 10th of May until the 5th of June. They won't have to wait for an entire year. So the more you keep your crews, the higher the share of the released tokens will be. So there is another more proposal for the holders of unblocked crew, such thing as staking. until we have our own blockchain, we realized that not all of the people would want to sell all of their released token points right away. For those people, in their back office, they will have like a shelf, like a deposit vault, where you can deposit your released crew points for storage. And by doing it, you can speed up your release, your unlocking. Let's say that you have 10,000 crew points unlocked. 1,000 points will be exchanged for units. For example, you exchange 1,000 units for crypto units for units, and you put 9,000 crew points in a deposit box, and you will have 1% of additionally released crew points per month. So in 1 month, you'll have more released crew points, which can be sold, exchanged at a better exchange rate, because the exchange course of our crypto unit will grow every month as along our going through different stages. So when we launch our test exchange, a blockchain will get a higher price. As soon as we receive the regulator's permission, we will use the services of a Swiss regulator. When we get their permission for free circulation of tokens, the price will increase. As soon as we get our own exchange, the price again increases. As soon as we receive like the positive opinion that is going to confirm our deposits of gold, which is part of our assets, naturally the crew price will increase. This is the current state of affairs, the things that are in store for you in March. We are now starting the work related to the creation of our blockchain. On the 3rd of March, we're going to hold the tender and see who wins the contract. And in parallel, our users' back offices will have those release of tokens. Hopefully, Andrey set up his microphone. And we can eventually... Can you hear me right now? Andrey's asking, sorry. Yeah. Waiting. It's the voice, the sound is better than it used to be, and but it's still not perfect. So he's asking to give a score from 1 to 10 on the sound quality. So we can try and increase the volume to hear Andrey's better. There is some cracking in the sound. Yeah, guys, you can hear me well enough because we have very stable internet connection and a professional microphone. So we're trying to set up. we need to cover some of the topics that I will speak slowly, because I guess all of you are quite curious about the article published. The article published by Skyway on the 3rd of February. We met in Minsk with Anatoly Yunitsky and Nadia. We, together with our legal department, we discussed the issue of assets assessment, because we have more than 3 billion shares. Our fund has those shares which have been purchased before, and then CryptoUnit program bought shares worth more than $16 million. It was 3 plus 5 plus 8. This is within our CryptoUnit program. So over the 5 years of cooperation, we helped create the financial flows, cash flow of more than $100 million for the Skyway company. And being their strategic partner, we started assessing all the assets of our company, not only Skyway assets, Skyway shares in our portfolio, but other assets as well. And at our closed meeting, I'm going to show you our partners, our business partners who we work with. So we had a nice chat with Skyway. It was quite a good meeting. And then I said, whereas previously we worked with you through the back office, TNG back office, then we had monthly conversion. We cannot continue that way of cooperation anymore, because we now have a new logic of our operations. From March, we're gonna have one single entry point, one single back office, the Academy of a Private Investor, the educational system. And at the closed meeting, we're going to tell you about quite an interesting thing, how we're going to work, and how our clients will purchase IEPs, Crew, TNG, and the Academy of Private Investor, APIs. So when you buy Crews in the back office, you will have bonuses. When you buy TNG EIPs, like TNG real estate, TNG other areas that we're going to suggest, it's similar to the scheme that we used when working with Skyway, because we have quite a lot of interesting proposals. So we'll not be there as the fund itself, but our private individuals will always also be able to enter those projects the way it was with Skyway. So basically, since Skyway back office, Skyway will be like a project that will collect their own clients. So maybe you might have read when RSW group was opened. Now we then switched SWIG to NEEW TNG, because Anatoly Yunitsky asked us to do so. So because now they have SWG token, and SWIG has Skyway in it, so Skyway insisted on us renaming our company, and we did it. And TNG back office had other proposals. So we did not have the right we could not continue working the way we worked before. And I can tell you how it all started when in 2014, Anatoly Yunitsky suggested that I work in Skyway, I said, no, let's be partners. I will be your partner, not one of the employees of Skyway, because I have quite a lot of experience in investment business. I have a lot of experience in multi-level marketing business. So I will set up a fund. Well, it was already in the creation. The fund was already being created. In December 2012, I planned to launch it in September and October, but then because it was an anniversary of the Academy of Private Investor, I decided to open the investment fund. So when I met Anatoly Yunitsky, I decided to open the fund to support Skyway. And I said, Skyway is a very strategically important project. I would like to implement it in 3-4 years, as Yunitsky said. And our agreement was that I work according to my rules. I buy their shares wholesale and sell it to my clients, to our clients in retail. So the 20-year agreement that we signed was signed in with this particular conditions, that we support Skyway, we promote Skyway, and I buy Skyway shares, and I give those shares to my clients as a gift for purchasing EIPs. So that was our arrangement. Everything was fine. We made our payments. But then Skyway Capital appeared in January 2015. And in spring 2015, or summer, the management of Skyway said that we need to have the conversion of the participants. I don't want you to have your participants, and so on and so forth. We had lots of negotiations because a lot of participants were registered in the company. And the way why it was so, and I explained to Yunitsky that I worked already in one of the MLM company. And when I handed over all my clients, and then the company dismissed me, I lost all of my clients. And I told him, I don't want that experience to be repeated. That's why I'm not going to hand over all of my clients. But then Skyway said that that's the way Skyway Capital works, and you need to work in the same manner. Or we're not going to work with you anymore. So for 2 years, we tried to bring it all together. And in 2016, we finally had a button in our back office where our investor who joined our educational system received as a gift Skyway shares. There was a knob, there was a button where using which they could do the conversion and work with Skyway company directly, to be included in their register, to be able to receive Skyway certificates, etc. But what surprised me, when we introduced in February 2016 that button, we had around 17 or 20 billion shares. Only 350 million shares have been converted, were converted. So out of the entire number of people that we had, it was 250,000 people back then registered in our company, only 1,000 people, and it was 50,000 investors back then. 1,000 people out of 50,000 real investors decided to convert their shares. So why? I'll explain it to you, why we had such a situation. When we opened our fund, just in case, I said, and you can see our presentations, we said that we're creating a reserve fund. If Skyway company does not enter the market in 3-4 years, and we still have the shares, and we are making a commitment before all our people that if the company, so you can take those shares back at any time as soon as the company enters the market. And if the company does not enter the market, I told you this in our in one of our webinars, I said that we're going to set up internal exchange. I kind of now regret that I ever mentioned it. And out of the 20 billion shares, only 350 million shares were converted. Anatoly Unitsky insisted that we need to convert everyone, or they would not work with all of us anymore. So my question to you guys, all of you, what would you do if someone gave you such an ultimatum? Give me a plus if you would agree to this ultimatum, or a minus if you would not. Someone gives plus. Maybe you didn't understand the question. Well, but you know, we were promoting this, our own child, you know, and people wrote me that, Andrey, I don't want to go to Skyway. We're promoting their company. We've signed an agreement. Until Skyway enters the market, my task was to help Skyway to enter the market as soon as possible. But when they asked me, what if Skyway does not enter the market and I want to sell my shares, and you told me that within the fund I could do it because the shares were held by our company, well, the commitments, it's like token points. They would be the same as the Skyway shares or Skyway share points. So people would exchange those shares within our system. So of course, when we converted, because I eventually had to agree to Unitsky's demands. So when I converted all our shares, and we had a reserve fund from 350 to 5 million shares. So we needed to have at least 1 billion Skyway shares in our fund. That was our original intention. So of course, naturally, I talked with the new leadership council, and it was the steering board, and they said, yeah, we need to move forward, we need to support Skyway, let's hand it over. And we handed over all the data of our people. And what was really unpleasant, and I guess you all felt it, when we handed over our data, sometime later, new people who made the purchase, Skyway Capital called them and said, go to us, because Swig's shares are fake shares, while our shares are good shares, because we work with Skyway directly, while Swig does not work with Skyway directly. Put me a plus if you remember that conversation, if you remember that talk. Remember, we had a lot of arguments with them, and Unitsky said, you know, Andrey, it's fair competition. And I told him, what's fair about it? Because we are handing over our entire database to you, and they, Skyway Capital, uses that base to win over our clients. And we, as you saw, we were 1,254,000. 97,000 people of like 100, almost 100,000 monthly, new monthly registration. And last month it was almost like 200,000 people. And you know where Skyway Capital took their clients and, let's say, food from before CryptoUnit appeared, you know, because people always criticized us that we allow them to do it. And we have a very big expansion going on, and we finance Skyway, and we had a lot of joint projects. And I said, Mr. Unitsky, on the 3rd of February, we're going to have a new way of working. I told him we're not going to continue our cooperation in the old format. We're going to buy from you, and internally, we're going to give bonuses, gifts when we have like 10 tools. And you can buy an EIP, which will include gold of the Urals, real estate, Skyway shares, and then a person, depending in which project they want to invest, they pick this EIP. And they can receive like this portfolio in the TNG back office. So put a plus if you think that you find it interesting, that you can decide which projects you would like to invest in. But if we follow that logic, guys, we will not be able to work with the conversion anymore. Because imagine that we are going to give away all the entire database that we have, which is not quite interesting for me. Because if a client comes and sees 10 tools, 10 instruments, including Skyway, then that client will be called by someone else and say, look, let's, and try to win them over. And we'll tell them, go to us, don't stay with NEEW. What would you do? Would you protect your business when your competitor wins over your clients in this way? And of course, I said no. And I told Unitsky that this year in 2020, we're going to have 10 million users. Not all of them, well, 1.5 million will probably receive TNG bonuses, no, Skyway bonuses. So we can say in our presentations that we have Skyway as one of our projects, investment projects, and there are referrals, links which will lead the partner directly to Skyway. And I told him that thanks to our marketing move like this, you will get at least 100 million per year. So we talked with them. They said we need some time to think. And on the somewhere in the 15th or 16th of February, they sent us a letter that in continuation of our negotiation, we would like to discuss the way we're going to cooperate. And the answer was public. Skyway Capital, I know now, are clearing our ranks, weeding, I guess, our ranks, pruning. And I guess competition is competition, but when I asked Unitsky a question, can't we buy your shares? What if tomorrow we buy 100 million worth of your shares? And if he says no, well, we'll find someone else to invest that money. But when we said that we're going to finance, it won't be the same as we did before. We're not going to tell you where we're going to spend our money. Then all our investment partners, one of the most important things here, we discussed it with our new legal department, our requirement will be to demand for the financial statement of that company. They will need to provide financial data, like their budget, So we are now renewing all our contracts with our old partners. It is a difficult project because nobody ever asked for a financial statement, and now we are demanding that they report on every cent spent. But we're working on it. But with the new clients, with the new investment partners, if you want, for example, $10 million for your development, provide us the financial statement where this money is going to be spent on. And when it is spent, we will check whether there is no machinations, there is no fraud involved. So, and that's what we told Skyway. That's how we're going to work with all our investment partners. Please provide us your financial statement. We need to see how our money is spent. Could you tell me whether you think it is a normal procedure? It's like that's how business should be run. Yes, I see that you agree. Someone says, awesome, like Skyway is gonna own our shares, and oh no, the fund is going to own our shares and we're gonna receive only the bonuses. Someone said it. But look, take any investment company. When you invest in that company, you invest in the fund itself. Nobody tells you that you're gonna be co-owners or owners of shares, etc. We have an innovative approach in the Academy of a Private Investor. We created an innovative approach. I was one of the first traders who opened a bank account with a 100% guarantee of the return of money to the traders. I was one of the first in the Russian-speaking world to do it, and then others opened similar bank accounts after me. Another novelty and fashion that was introduced in the investment business was introduced by the Academy of Private Investor, and no other company offers what we offer, that you cannot simply enter our fund and be part of the global innovative investment portfolio. You can be an investor in other projects as well. So our CryptoUnit fund, we invested the beginning, and then we can select investors to launch, I don't know, a production facility like for Basalt or for the Euro Gold. And in this case, we need to involve external investors. And we tell them, look, guys, you can be co-owners in the production facilities as well. And you get the shares of those companies. You will have personal possession of those shares. And we take the obligation that when this production facility is commissioned and they enter the market, we will allocate those shares to you. We took that commitment. So people who wrote in the chat that fund owns everything and you receive only bonuses is just BS, guys. That's nonsense. Because either way, you know nothing about investments, or you never invested in any other investment fund. Maybe you invested in some pyramids or something, but that's not the way it works here. We lost Andrey. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, no sound. Just give us a second. Hello. Okay. Because someone called me on my phone, and that's why. So, but those methods were never ever offered by anyone else. So we're the first here. So what we after today's statement, after today's meeting on Monday, we're gonna write them a new letter. We'll say that we want to buy. We're not going to give away Skyway shares. It is our fund, and we are in a position to do everything that we want with them. But if back then, if we did not convert shares but stayed with the fund, so all those people who told me, like, Andrey, I invested in your in Skyway, I would like to have my money back, and I wouldn't be able to give them anything if we handed over all the shares. So there were people who tell me that, I tell them that's not possible. Another thing that, and I guarantee you that you can put it down, then you can edit the video and see. I tell you, if you still pay installments from the last year or last month, and we now add a button that you would like to convert those shares, we will convert those shares, like our obligations, into your shares. It's no problem for us. I guarantee you we can do it. It was 5.5 years ago when we opened the fund. When this button was added, I was surprised. I said, out of 17 billion, only 350 shares have been converted. Like 1,000 out of 50,000 real investors wanted to have their shares converted, and Igor Korsun said yes. And I was really pleasantly surprised. And at every webinar, we said that people are not willing to have their shares converted. So guys, I guarantee you, if you click the button, we're not going to convert the entire amount of it. I explained you why. Because this entire amount, people who are still entering CryptoUnit and bought through TNG, their EIPs, we are converting them as well. And then those people are called by Skyway Capital and ask whether they want to work directly with them. It's our business, it's your business. So if you want to have that button, we will put up this button in 1 month, 1.5 months. If you don't trust me, if you don't trust our fund, we warned our support service, because the letters like they receive letters like, Andrey, all the Skyway shares, the innovative technology Skyway, I want those shares to be converted. Okay, no problem. Here's your application form. You fill it in. I signed it. The Presidential Council signed it, and we can have the conversion every month on your application. No problems there. Until the 15th of March, we're going to address that issue. But if a person started paying installments in December for 10 months, then it's going to be a problem. Then Unitsky will have to deliver on these obligations. So I answered you the questions related to Skyway. So guys, in all our future webinars, do not ask me questions about Skyway anymore. They're just one project, investment project in our portfolio. They are our strategic partner. We are very much interested in making Skyway, in building Skyway. But instead of building eco-techno parks across the world, I want to use the real Skyway transportation system. I don't know why Unitsky doesn't want to use Skyway transportation, because Unitsky, what he's doing, he's building eco-techno parks. So, but we are very much interested in finally having Skyway up and running. So we will show you what kind of application we submitted to Skyway, that we wanted to make this like 2 kilometers, let's say, of Skyway route. But we will show you everything, our official request, our official reply. But strangely enough, I never met a person who needs money and yet didn't want to receive that money. Okay, let's talk about Profi bonus a little bit. Oh, wait, one more thing. Tell me, if you had an opportunity on our platform, those who entered 2 years or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if on our platform you had an exchange to exchange your Skyway shares into money, would you be interested in doing it? Would you do it on our platform, exchange your Skyway shares into money? A lot of people say yes, but if you have your shares converted, you won't have this opportunity, guys. Because of it is our shares, and we can issue internal points, and you can do anything we want with those points. Without like futures for Skyway shares, we have, oh sorry, Sberbank futures, Apple futures. So what's the problem? But we are not selling them outside. We're not saying that. This is our internal marketing. And in the contract that we sent for 20 years, on the 4th of September, it was included that we have our own marketing policy in order to be able to finance Skyway even more, to give them even more money. So it is up to you whether you want to have your shares converted. No problem. I'm gonna do it. You can cut this particular part of my video and show me as a proof. If you want to have it converted, let's convert it. But if you started paying your installments in February, January, November, you need still to finish paying that installment, those installments. We will have your shares converted. No problem. I don't see any problem here. What I promise, I deliver. But if you had your shares converted, there is no way back. Just be mindful of that, okay? Because we are investors after all. So the only option here is to unite in a big group. So it's 50, 60 billion shares have been allocated of our clients. And I'm sure it's like 70%. If we combine, if you unite into one group, then maybe something can be possible. But at the moment, it's just words and we don't really need it. It is needed when Skyway fails to perform their own obligations. And some of the obligations have been failed. They failed to fulfill their obligations. They promised to enter the market in 2018. And if the Skyway company does not enter the market, at least we, as promised, will be able to deliver on our obligations to our clients, so that they can get some money back on your investments. So this is our marketing policy, and don't worry, everything is fine. I'm even happy that they published this article, and we have a completely new level of partnership now. So we have a 20-year contract. We can go our separate ways, then we can get back together, kisses and hugs, but partners are partners. You cannot fire a partner. You can go separate ways, you can get the same way or go the same way. Well, as for profit bonus, it is important to know, and the voting said that if we don't get 100,000 and more, that money will be reinvested. But we have now more and more profits, not only because we have financial tools and the exchange tools, but we'll also have instruments from the real sector of economy that yields profits. So the next slide is the conditions for the transition to the next stages of the CryptoUnit development program. So it says that when we can move on to the next stage, it's 1,250,000 we already can get, but we did not yet generated even 30% of the first stage volume. So when we meet those requirements, so the total number of SHE-card merchants, we start doing it on the 1st of June. So there are two major requirements: the number of people, the volume. Of course, if we have 2 million people by, let's say, 15th of or 20th of March, then of course we will move on to the next stage, because when new people come today, there is no volume. The volume will be tomorrow, correct? So it affects the whole transition process, but the amount of money that we receive for selling EAPs also plays a big role in it. Now let's do the summary here. The second part of CryptoUnit program. It's 1-2 part of the CryptoUnit program. The number of registered users. Once again, I would like to congratulate you all, guys. Let's give us a round of applause for that. I will tell it about the next slide. That 1,274,549 people. Kudos, guys. Accept my congratulations here. We did a great job. With Skyway, the maximum that we got was 550,000, and here in 1 year we attracted more than 800,000 people. The number of clients who purchased EAPs, investors, is 560,000 people. The conversion rate is insane. Partners, agents, 640,000, half of it, of our entire database. Agents, it's around 8% of the entire number of partners, which is quite good. Consultants, 12,500, which is 30% from the number of agents. Quite good conversion. 4,000 managers, which is 30% of the number of consultants, and 1,300 leader managers is quite an impressive number. Those who work in the multi-level business system will understand that this conversion is simply insane. You can't even imagine. So the average statistics of an average company is around 15-25% tops, while we have 30% and more conversion from one status to another. Top managers, 431, it's 30% from the leader managers. Vice presidents, 160, which is more than 30% from the top managers. And president, 71, which is almost half, 50% of the vice presidents. Guys, statistics, if you are savvy at multi-level marketing, and if you have experience working there, you see that their numbers, their conversion rates are much, much lower. The volume of sales within the CryptoUnit program amounted to 142 million units. The volume of assets purchases, number of is 57 million, and the purchased assets is 50.8. We still need to buy what, 6 million worth. The volume of marketing plan bonuses in units, 48.5 million. Dear friends, so people, imagine a situation when we allow people working with us, like not, let me put it in a better way. People earn money and pay taxes. So you see what kind of benefit we're bringing here? It's a win-win for everyone. The loyalty program bonuses is 14.2 million units. And the Profi bonus is 980,000 units. This month, guys, the crew volume is 2.6 million. So this is as of yesterday, because usually on the last day, we usually have 30, 40, even 50% is generated out of the, compared to all the previous 28, 29 days. And the loyalty program bonus is 10%, which is 260,000 units. We had 94,000 registrations. Well, I can tell you here that when we worked exclusively with Skyway, we never had more than 10,000 registrations, and we could only dream about having 30,000 registrations. While here, in 1 month, we got 94,000 registrations, and last month we had 200,000 registrations. That's just insane. And we have a global investment portfolio. That's why we have a totally different numbers. The distribution in percentages per loyalty program bonuses ratio in the first and second parts was done according to the results of the voting in December 2019. Last time it was mentioned incorrectly. Now we redid all the math. 50% will be reallocated within the first part, stages 1 to 8, and January, February 2020, who buys the second part will get 50% of it. So guys, if a person wants to get more within the loyalty program bonus, they have this opportunity now. Well, bonus Profi is paid to everyone based on the revenues. And if we, so based on the voting, 12% from the voting will be reallocated and the rest of it will be reinvested. I would like to show you the new reporting format. And now we'll have an opening meeting. This is like a monthly report of the company and the plans for the next month. And of course, I will show you how much we have in our portfolio. And we're going to have a closed meeting within the CryptoUnit program only for people, our clients, who invested 1,000 units and more. And if their consultants are higher, then you are allowed to the closed meeting.
Moreover, as soon as you enter the global meeting, there is a document that you will need to sign, a non-disclosure agreement that you won't disclose the confidential information you will receive there. So we will tell you which information actually you can disclose and which one you can't. Why you can't? Because there is such an example, easy example, by the way. When you get a permit for construction, because there is some construction site, so some unpleasant things started. Maybe someone actually give a phone call to the authorities who actually issue a permit, but it's quite easy to find out whether the construction site is located and to go to the municipality and tell them something. So therefore, there are such things which will be only available to this closed club. Well, the profit bonus you received it paid until last December. Profit bonus was paid last December inclusive. Well, investments were distributed this way. Skyway 18 million units. By the way, gold 1303 million units. Culture 920,000 units. Financial and crypto markets 4,194 million units. Card 4.2 million units, real estate 2.2 million units, Sushi Master 3,595 million, stock markets 2,807 million, IBT Basalt 1,724 million, so 1,725 million, and diamond production 1.01 million unit. So now let's actually discuss, because this is the culmination event for those people who understand what capitalization is. So one instrument and its capitalization. So please keep your chairs tough. As of the 29th of February, the investment value of our portfolio is 379,780,000, and the leader here is gold. This at the closed meeting, I will show you the documents. I won't show them now because the auditor who actually, the assessor who evaluated this value, it was the investment audit and it is the surveying audit, and the auditor is the top 5 globally. And this is the evaluation of this company we received from this top 5 company. And we invested only 298 million units to the Ural Gold. And we made our investments based on the survey audit they did. They did these surveys for copper, for gold, silver, for diamonds. We talked to the people performing this survey audit. And why we decided to invest? Look, the investments actually were to be invested. Initially, the amount was 15 million. This survey audit actually was not a detailed one. Now, we are making new drills, new wells. You know, there is a grid 1 kilometer to 1 kilometer. A grid which enable you to realize where the deposit is located. And for this, we needed to invest 15 million. We invested only 10.8 million. And the investment audit based on the data and supplemented with additional data, and we actually audited this company where under the contract the split is 50-50. This company, through this investment value, its value is 593 million US dollars. at that time, so at the previous webinar report or summary webinar, the amount actually announced was 1.3 tons of gold, but where the factory will be located. And according to the expected evaluation of the company under the volume, under this audit, will be billions of dollars. But our share will be 30 as soon as the factory is constructed. So in case we find an investor, then we will have to share our split with this investor, 15 to 50, and out of 10 billions over the next 10 years, our 35 is quite a good share. Not this, half of this. $286 million, but in 5 years capitalization of only this segment, but for you to understand, it's only 5% of the total deposit of gold in the land, in the soil. And this is 3.5 billion. So Skyway is 52 million, 18 and 52. Over the 5 years, we made our investments over the last years in particular, but today's discount, which is available, taking into account the today's discount, it will be 52 million units. If there is 1 million people, they come and they buy a special EIP, and with the bonuses, we will actually give our liabilities for Skyway shares. We will get 52 million units and we'll buy even more shares. And it will be reflected and it will be monitored and transparent. Real estate, the today's investment value is about 12 million units. Sushi Master, 6.25 million. And you see the percentage of the global portfolio. And for gold, the share is the largest because of the high capitalization. Culture, 920,000, stock markets, 1,675 million units. There are some declines, financial and crypto markets, 2 million or 1.53%. IBT Bezold, 1.725 million. Shikard, 4.2 million units, and diamond production, 1.101. And the Crew asset growth over 11 months was 647% or 58% a month. And I believe there will be those people who will say that I'm saying the bullshit, because actually you can't sell it immediately. So we can do it. We can do it at a discounted price, and we will actually get much more than collected money so far, only for the Ural gold. Therefore, dear friends, I believe that today, and at the summary meeting, I will show you what is the most liquid, less liquid, non-liquid, but the Ural gold, only the Ural gold. If we say no, we are fed up, we don't want, at least 150 million we will generate on this sale, which will cover all the money raised so far. Did you get it? Well, this portfolio also has the value of liquid assets, which is 3.6 million units, because out of this global, there should be at least, we plan to have at least 20% of liquid assets as liquid assets. Did you get it? Unfortunately, as a percentage, so it is over 3%. So the profit from liquid assets was 1,150,000 over 11 months. Profit over 11 months was 31.94. And the profits on these assets was 1,150,000, and actually the profit from liquid assets from the investment amount of the whole portfolio was 2.2% over 11 months. The Presidential Council, actually there is a proposal that every 3 months, if possible, we need to set some amount aside, this generated or earned amount aside, and then distribute it. So we are the people's company, and you need to address either the Leadership Council or the Presidential Council, and we will actually take your queries or requests and take them into consideration. But the decision, the final say, is on the Presidential Council. If the Presidential Council decides this way, that we will accrue it within 3 months and then we will allocate it. But my profit, I will tell you now, Sushi Master, a bit later I will tell you. So our goal to have dozens of restaurants of Sushi Master in CIS countries, as well as India, Vietnam, South Africa, and maybe not 250, but 300 or maybe 500 restaurants altogether. The profits generated by one restaurant is about $1,000, but through the chain and the loyalty program we have, we can actually reach 3,000 profits from one restaurant. To say we have 500 restaurants in a year, multiplied by 3,000, 15 million eventually a month. From these 500 restaurants we may have globally. Multiplied by 3,000, how much do we have? If you have a calculator, please do this math. Can you calculate it very quickly? Then I will pick up my calculator and do the math myself. 500 restaurants multiplied by $3,000, $1.5 million generated a month from Sushi Master segment. Is that correct? Therefore, the profits from the liquid assets, so the profits from the liquid assets was over 9 months, 31.94 or 2.9% per month. And the profits from the liquid assets from the investment amount of the whole portfolio was 2.2% over 11 months or 0.2% per month. But we only have 36 million. As soon as there is the 20% share of the investments, the amount of the capitalization is this one, then the profits will be much higher compared to the total portfolio. So this is our actually objective, and together with the new international legal department, we are actually pursuing this goal. At our next summary meeting, I will make you to meet them. Well, dear friends, here Maria already told you everything. The only thing I would like to add, what else do I need to tell you? Well, then I will answer only very important questions, and everything, every question which is the mandate of the closed meeting, actually these questions will be answered there. So in half an hour there will be the closed meeting. Now I'm waiting for your questions. So even very negative questions, I'm ready to take them and answer them. So there is a person saying that he or she cannot attend the marathon. This is the answer to Oleg Sereshkin. You will catch up with the next marathon. Why Maxim Gafiak is not the director anymore? We had an old legal department, Dmitry Счастливый for Russia, Maxim Gafiak internationally, but there were a lot of complaints against our legal department. And if you are the leader, they always asked a question, why I have them in my team. But actually, we started this business together, and they were intended to create a good legal department, and therefore, the Maxim is in the new international legal department and under the supervision of the newly established international legal department. But because the previous department was very slow in their actions and our leaders were not satisfied, but guys, we are growing. And our legal basis, for you to understand, is an important aspect. Why we are a bit slowing down? It's good that maybe there is a decline in volumes, although we witness an increase in clients, and then we will catch up with our volumes. So it's quite normal and usual practice. But unfortunately, with the old legal department, I need to come back 5 years ago. They brought me back 5 years ago. And with new legal department, I need to go into details, explore more. But actually, after 5 times of operation of the legal department, I didn't have to do it now. But unfortunately, I have, and it takes a lot of my time. Some of you today said, the money and the education, why we promote education, the idea for getting an education and training. Top leaders are the best students. They are those people who always respond to some changes. But unfortunately, our administration sometimes, maybe because of the high load or burden, or they were not willing, or they made a lot of money, so they didn't stand up with some requirements, and therefore we skyrocket in volumes in development. But unfortunately, the legal department we had before was not ready to catch up with this pace. And you know, this actually year, there was my goal to reach 1 billion volume a month. But with the staff of the legal department, of the old legal department, it was not possible. We are moving like a tank. And we, together with you, are this tank crew. And we are moving very fast, conquering the territories, but we need the very powerful legal support for us to open the companies, to open the offices, to connect different systems, for our partners to get the bonuses quite quickly, but not to wait 1, 2, 3 months. But this is the legal department, the legal framework. But here there was the slowdown, like in case of financial director Igor Romanenko, because a lot unpleasant violations or stuff were caused, troubles were caused for the company. But it's quite normal, I believe. You know, when a company becomes mature, those people who initially slowed down its growth, so they need either to accelerate as well, or the company will dismiss them. And therefore, I feel responsibility for our business, responsibility for promoting Skyway. And with my pleasure, I will be very pleased to promote this business, but only under our terms and conditions, because there is such a phrase, the one who orders the music, so the one who plays the music should pay for it. But unfortunately, we pay the money, and there are those partners who may believe that we actually owe something to someone. So there is one person who actually criticized one of our partners, Stefan. And I told him, Stefan, next time when these guys will be so rough in talking with you, will be bullying, you can connect or you can turn on my Donetsk accent. You start screaming, we are investors, but the landlord tried to bully and troll us. So how could it be we pay money, but they tell us what to do it. So actually they should do what we deserve from them. But we don't do it from our end. We respect and trust the people. There is a good phrase, by the way. We have a partner. You know, once he said, Andrey, I fully agree with you because you pay, and you play the music. Yes, I won't allow you to offend me. I'm not going to cheat you, but I believe if you pay the money, you need to play the tune. So this is quite an appropriate approach. My scope of responsibility is huge, and I'm not going in case in the company there are some persons that are slowing down our growth. Then we will have to say goodbye to each other. But this person, all of them have their crypto units, and I believe they are actually quite fine because we will grow and they will harvest the crops once they planted. And in the end of my monologue, dear friends, I want to tell you, we have very high level of responsibility. 6 years ago, I said, I want to cut the pie composed of about 500 trillion of US dollars and at least to get 1 to 5% with my team. And therefore, if you get training and we have at least one person who will say, yes, Andrey, I'm ready to go with you, then in the next 15-20 minutes, we will get a piece of this 100 trillion US dollar market. And me is one of these persons. If you want to be with me, please welcome. So we have thousands of such people in our company that are taking these responsibilities. We feel this responsibility. We are constructing and building a new economic evolution of the world. So we are committed and we are moving forward. And together with the leaders, we will perform our promises. The deblocking will be in March. Do you remember we promised this? At the beginning, I told you the one who will enter the fund, and then actually you could buy the Skyway, but Skyway is not my fund. But now in TNG back office, those instruments that are available there. So we will launch deblocking and we meet our promises. And there is, by the way, a tender, and the tender for the village hotel in Phuket. Everything will be done through this bidding procedure only, because sometimes I receive some phone calls saying, Andrey, there is an amazing proposition. Guys, now I don't take decisions myself. After that, I actually promised my leaders that this company won't be my company anymore. It will be our shared company. And the members of the Presidential Council will manage this company. And today, my decision is that any propositions you have, and we receive any proposition, they will be considered by the Presidential Council, and I am the head of the investment department, and at our next meeting I will make you get to know all our leaders or managers, administrators, because there were some changes in the leadership in the departments, and the investment department decided that yes, this is attractive proposition for us. The Presidential Council as well needs to defend. So this project or this proposition is to be defended against the Presidential Council. First of all, the investment department, the Presidential Council, and then the legal department, which immediately perform due diligence of all our counterparties. Because unfortunately now there is one counterparty with whom we are having a dispute. You know, we invested into the one of the banks. This bank is open, but this guy is not vesting some rights and is not vesting the rights to this bank, to our brokerage rights. So it's quite an interesting situation, and we perform due diligence of this counterpart. We have the opportunity and we can check all our counterparts. So this is another new development, dear friends. Well, any other questions? Why there are over 1,000 stakes in the Skyway? Because this is the regulation of this company.
Could you please explain? So I don't have time. I can barely manage to read the entire question on time because they are coming all the time. So we're gonna have, yes, the internal exchange for our crew points. So, but actually you're asking a question which shall be addressed during our closed meeting. That's where I'm going to explain it all. So he said, do you have any signed certificate between you and Unitsky? No, we have NEEW signed commitments. It's the same RSW investment group. It's not called TNG. Unitsky has their own certificate for shares. Someone is asking, please comment on what? Could you please comment on the situation with the blocking of money by the payment systems? Okay, freezing of money. Well, the situation is as follows. There is one payment system to which our financial director kept on sending money, and a certain amount of money went there, and the payment system doesn't want to give it back to us. And it was like, their reasoning was that we are a financial pyramid. That's why they froze our money for a certain period of time, and until further notice, until the investigation is conducted. And they do not want to get in to connect to our specialists, but we know where this company is, where it has been opened. And now, since they did not want to sit at the negotiation table with us, so the only option left here is, guys, those of you who receive a call from our support, please meet them halfway. What we need to do is to know where, in which bank the money is kept, and we will know, and we will go and submit our demands, because we have contracts, we have invoices, you are our clients, and we can prove that you are our clients and you paid for the product. And for some reason, they decided to freeze our money, and now we're having this situation with them. So please keep calm, and when our support service calls you, ask them who they are, where they're from. Also, we asked Mila to tell leaders how to deal with those situations, but it's not a situation faced by everyone. It's a certain number of people who use their bank cards to make a payment. So when the support service calls you and asks you, are those last digits come from your bank card, please say so. Never ever tell them the entire number of your bank card or your PIN code. What they should do, how the situation should like, they say, are you John Smith? Are your last digits like this, this, and this? Did you make a payment transaction on a specific date? And they give you the date. And if you go all through those filters, then they are legit. Then they are from our support service, and please help them out. We need to submit a a request to return our money from the bank, and that's how we can get our that money from the bank, because the payment system cannot simply take our money and then not give it back, calling us a financial pyramid. I guess this is something a company should be punished for, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to address the situation. Those who bought EIPs $1,000 and more, who invested in their education, will be in the closed meeting. I see that we have followers of OneCoin. We already received that article. Our lawyers are working on it. That Japanese young person, crypto enthusiast, it turns out that this young crypto enthusiasm is 80-something years old, and he died 4 years ago. So, you know, Kabanov Eugen, who had to do the STO for us, and UGPay. I guess this is his hand, because he told me that if he was not the one who did the STO, he would tell everyone that we're a pyramid. And I told him, Eugene, don't you why? And then I said, OneCoin has nothing to do with us. We have totally different things. You saw all our counter agents. You were in this process. So he still owes us money for the STO, for GeniePay, not UGPay, GeniePay. But you know, it was about the our IT developers said that they he did not return all the money back, so our legal department is working on it. We have a very, very strong legal department right now, and they are working on it. So as soon as people shared this article with us, we already wrote letters to the hosting, to the website, why they posted this news without double checking it. So it's already being addressed. The article will be removed very soon. But even if they remove the article from the hosting, the same article can be posted at a different hosting. But unfortunately, those at yellow press, you know, yellow websites, unfortunately, there is no verification of the person who posts the article, because you can write anything you want and get scot-free, you know, no consequences. So hopefully I covered all the really burning issues. Someone wrote that it's a really bad situation, but in much worse words. Okay, but no, we need some 20-minute break, and then we're gonna have a closed meeting, and we'll have quite interesting information about what's to come, like the VIP participation, etc., VIP club participation, etc. But this is something that we need to discuss in our closed meeting. Can we convert our Skyway shares? Again, guys, if you want to have your shares in Skyway, you can do it. No problems there, but you will need to write a letter. We're not going to send everyone in bulk all together. Write us an application, and we will refer you to the relevant advising department, consultation department, and they will tell you how to proceed next. So guys, this is it. See you in 1 month. I will introduce you to the heads of all our departments, including the legal department. By then, already the release of the tokens will occur, and I would like to conduct the meeting on the 31st of March. On the 30th, we're going to have an anniversary of our CryptoUnit program. And then on the last day of March, we're going to have a summary meeting. We'll tell you about what happened in March. But I can tell you that we are now moving on to a new phase. Spring is coming, you know. So, and in spring, usually leaves are appearing on the trees. Birds start singing and nesting. Farmers start preparing for planting of the new harvest. So the reason why Marathon 260 was launched on the 2nd of February, by the way, as for Marathon, I don't know how and when, but in February, we have people developing my brand. In February only, I had more than 2,000 registrations. And my personal sales are more than 2.5 units, 1,000 units. It's within my marketing, within the marketing plan. So guys, if all of our partners, at least two, if they invited 2-3 person per month, we would have already 1 million extra users. Guys, we can influence our quick growth. We can influence the loyalty program bonus. We can influence more revenues. We can make sure that we get enough money to buy more assets, which will yield more profits for us. And we have 1,270,000. If you attract just one person per month, all of you will have 1,270,000 more people. And if two, you double that number. So not only our leaders and I should assume the responsibility, make the commitment, but all of us should make the commitment to make our life better, to become a leader in your own life, to be the author of your own success, and to be the best version of yourself, to be the best person in your life. Maybe you have family already, maybe you plan to make a family, and we all want your kids to be grateful to you for giving them what you didn't have. So let's break that vicious cycle of not having something in your family. For example, we went to school, then we worked at our steady job for 40 years, earning $405,000. And, let's break that circle. Let's become rich. Let's become well off. Let's learn the laws of investing. Let's become professional investors. Become the best, so that your children, your grandchildren would point out at your portrait on the wall saying that the new page of our dynasty started from that person. So this is my call to you. Let's take the commitment and deliver on those commitments. I'm saying commitment, responsibility for your life. Don't do it for someone else's life. Be responsible for your own life and carry that responsibility throughout your life. This is it from me. Thank you very much. Take care.